We've got some breaking news in the White House that is now essentially a kindergarten that holds adult men who act like children. There's now reports of another fight that has happened there, this time between Scott Bessent and Bill Pulte. And is it anyone's surprise that this White House has people who don't know how to behave in public when Donald Trump himself, moments ago, essentially endorsed domestic violence?
They said crime's down 87%. I said, no, it's more than 87%. Virtually nothing. And much lesser things that take place in the home they call crime. You know, they'll do anything they can to find something. If a man has a little fight with the wife, they say, this was a crime, see? So now I can't claim 100%.
And just as a point of reference, Donald Trump was accused of raping his wife, Ivana, in divorce papers. She later retracted that, but it is in divorce papers. And so she also accused him of pulling her hair. Do you think Donald Trump is capable of that? I do. We don't know for sure, but there's certainly a lot of smoke. And that means there probably is fire. Now, in that same speech, Donald Trump also said that he wants to send the National Guard to Chicago.
You know, when you have horrible killings, you have to take horrible actions. And the actions that we take are nothing. This cashless bail started a wave in our country where a killer kills somebody and is out on the street by the afternoon. In many cases, going out and killing again. Cashless bail, and you try and reason with people like in Chicago with the governor and the mayor. You try and reason with them, and it's like you're talking to a wall. It's just doesn't. I assume it's just a political ideology. They're not stupid people. It must be an ideology that's just buried in their head, and you can't do a damn thing about it. And we'd love to go into Chicago and straighten it out.
We'd love to go into Chicago and straighten it out. So Donald Trump has no legal authority to go into Chicago with the National Guard. What I assume is going to happen is that, as it says here, ICE is beginning a blitz to target undocumented immigrants in the Chicago area, and I believe they are doing that because Donald Trump is going to want to create a scene. He's going to want to get people riled up and protesting, and then he's going to create the circumstances that allow him to bring in the National Guard in the same way he did with LA. So if you're in Chicago, do of course protest, but please do be smart and be responsible, because otherwise you are really just falling into Donald Trump's own hands. When it comes to violence, there seems to be the only one creating it is Donald Trump and his White House administration. This is a crazy story. The title is, I'm going to punch you in your fucking face. Scott Bessent threatens an administration rival. There he is right there. I got to say, you know, I don't like this guy, but hats off. This is a gay guy that threatens to throw hands. And I think that's not the worst thing. I'm glad that we're getting some representation of gay people who are showing that we can fight. We can fight. A private dinner attended by dozens of administration officials and close advisors to the president was temporarily marred by a dramatic clash between two of Trump's top economic officials, with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent at one point threatening to punch top housing finance official Bill Pulte in the fucking face. It says there. A long table for the 30-some guests was set with 30 of the top of the line crystal and china. The guest list included, oh my God, this is like a guest list from hell. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, Interior Secretary Doug Burgum, Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins, Tulsi Gabbard, Kelly Loeffler, Dr. Oz, David Sachs. Oh my God. That is one place I'd rather be anywhere else but there. There's literally hell on earth. But amid the cocktail hour dine, lashed out at Pulte in an expletive-laden diatribe. The Treasury Secretary had heard from several people that the Federal Housing Finance Agency director had been bad-mouthing him to Trump. Person close to him said he wasn't about to engage in chit-chat as if nothing was amiss. So I don't know who leaked this to Politico. I believe that party was last week. Was it Wednesday or Thursday? I don't know who, but obviously it's someone who is friendly with Bessent. who leaked that. My guess would be it was probably Besant himself who said he wanted this story out there through his point of view, but we don't know for sure now. But I don't know how else someone would know what Besant said to this guy unless it was that loud. Why the fuck are you talking to the president about me? Fuck you, Besant told Polt. I'm going to punch you in your fucking face. The scene was described to me by one eyewitness, and for the people familiar with what happened, the only fact they disagreed on was whether it was Besant or Polte who initiated the conversation. They and others who described the conflict were granted anonymity due to the sensitivity of the situation. I don't think this is a thing that should have received anonymity, but that's just me. Polte appeared stunned, and the tense encounter prompted club co-owner and financier Omid Malik to intervene, according to the three people. But Besant wasn't having it. He sought to get kicked out. The eyewitness said, "It's either him or me," Besant said to Malik. "You tell me who's getting the fuck out of here." Or he added, "We could go outside." "To do what?" Polte asked. "To talk?" "No," Besant replied. "I'm gonna beat your fucking ass." What a clown show of individuals. What a clown show of individuals. Can you believe this? It's, to me, an indictment of Donald Trump and his administration that these are the types of people that will work for him. People that have this sort of decorum. Can you imagine acting like this in your own place of work? You'd be fired immediately. Just another day at the Trump White House. Seeking to de-escalate the situation, Malik separated the men, walking Besant to the another part of the club to calm down. During the seated dinner, Besant and Polte were placed on opposite ends of the table, and the party went off without further episode. Besant, Polte, Malik, and the White House declined to comment, of course. The confrontation, which one Trump insider called bonkers and another called unhinged, underscores the surprising tensions between top Trump officials tasked with working on the nation's most sensitive economic matters. And, of course, this has happened before, where Besant, who obviously has an anger problem, did the same thing with Elon Musk, where it was reported that he pushed the richest man in the world, who was two billionaire middle-aged men, thinking it was WAD in the hall of the West Wing. When eyewitness said of the argument last Thursday, Besant's net worth is actually $520 million. Not just $520 million. That's not that much. He's basically working class. Quote, "They were not physical in the Oval, but the president saw it, and then they carried it down the hall, and that's when they did it again," the first witness said a second. "It was quite a scene. It was loud, and I mean loud." Sounds exactly like the last story. And then when asked about it, Caroline Leavitt said this, quote, "It's no secret President Trump has put together a team of people who are incredibly passionate about the issues impacting our country. Disagreements are a normal part of any healthy process when it comes to policy, and ultimately everyone knows they serve the pleasure of President Trump." Well, Besant obviously is fine with Trump because Besant's still there. Musk isn't. So Donald Trump's fine with getting physical and getting loud as long as it's not towards him. And as we have seen, there are many allegations that Donald Trump likes that kind of behavior because he actually does it himself. What a freaking clown show. Well, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit like on the video. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'll see you next time. Bye.